with coverage you can count on. Erie News Now starts tonight with breaking news.
And this was the scene on 29th Street in Erie around noon when a wall of storms swept through our region. Thunderstorms prompted severe weather warnings, and Crawford County was under a tornado watch for part of the afternoon. Good evening, I'm Mike Roos.
And I'm Eva Mastromattio. Thanks for being here with us on Erie News Now at 5. Our region's largest news team has been following the storm damage all day long. And tonight we begin with severe weather team coverage you can count on.
We're following up on your tips to our newsroom from Crawford County and Ashtabula. We begin tonight with John Stalen. John, it's been an active afternoon for the weather department.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Tornado warnings for Erie County, for Crawford County, for Ashtabula County. The Erie County was canceled relatively quickly, but this is what some folks had to deal with driving on the Bayfront earlier today. You can see that water coming up from the sewers underground, and you can see the floodwaters across the roadway. You are strongly advised not to drive into this situation. Even though you can see the ground, you can still stall out a car and cause some issues out there. But look at that water coming on up. We saw a lot of rain out there. We had some training effect. We're talking about the rain now. Take a look at this long line, almost like a lake effect snow band, but this is all water, my friends. And this affected our friends out into Ashtabula, all the way in towards Conneaut Lake in Geneva. And there are reports out into Ashtabula County of nearly 5 inches of rain this afternoon, causing some flooding. Isley will show you some of that in just a few moments. Here are the estimated rainfall totals from Doppler Max. You can see out here to Ashtabula County about 4.5 inches, close to that 5-inch mark that we talked about, almost 3 inches just to the south and to the west of Meadville. About an inch or so out into Titusville. That's fairly good news. There could have been more and causing some issues. And generally over an inch here into Erie. I'll tell you what that means for us in just a few moments. Right now, the Idaluca Chiropractic Skyview Cam is taking a little sleep right now. 80 degrees for you. Winds from the west at 18 miles an hour, and you can see there the dew points into the 70s. It's moist out there, and we still could see a chance of a shower or so. So if you're heading out to the ball game, just keep an eye in the sky. It's only a slight chance of a shower. Temperatures into the 70s, and then for tonight, just a slight chance of a shower. Otherwise, things looking pretty good with temperatures in the middle 60s. More on your forecast and today's rain coming up in just a few.
Thanks, John. For part of the afternoon, Crawford County was under a tornado warning after storms swept through. An Erie News Now viewer tipped us off to severe weather damage.
Our Jameson Hickson is now joining us live in Crawford County with a closer look at just what happened. Jameson, what are you being told tonight in that region?
Well, Eva, I can tell you we are currently on Fowler Road off of Route 173 near Cochranton, and tonight the cleanup continues after those heavy storms came ripping through the area. And right now we have a very active scene still as the residents of this area continue to assess the damage. Now I'm going to take a step away and give you a live look at the scene so you can take a look at this for yourself. Just driving here, I counted at least 5 or 6 barns that had significant damage from the storms earlier today. And you'll take a look at this one. You notice that half of the roof has been blown off. The other half looks like it has actually caved in. And if you pan to the right, you're going to notice a massive tree that's been uprooted, causing damage to that nearby home. And that was actually a common theme. I saw dozens of trees either uprooted or snapped in half on my way out here. Just over there, across the street, you notice a ton of debris in that field. It actually looks like the roof from that barn was blown about 100 yards away. So we're talking significant wind in this area. And if you keep looking up the street, it's kind of the same story. We got damages to that home. There's also this barn right here. It's missing half of its roof, and there is damage to the side as well. And Mike, I'm going to have you swing it around this way. I'll show you another barn right behind me. This one actually had some significant damage. You'll take a look. The roof has been shredded off of it, and it's been peeled back. And you drive along this road, you're going to kind of have the same story. Lots of damage throughout the area. Now, I am told that this actually came in as a report of a truck crash, and when crews arrived here, they found a semi that was actually toppled over, then all this damage to the area. So it was kind of shocking for the crews who responded to that call. And I did speak with emergency management from Crawford County earlier today. They were here at the scene assessing it and taking pictures, which are going to be sent off to the National Weather Service, who will then determine if or not this in fact was a tornado. But just being here at the scene and taking a look around, I can tell you a lot of the different grass and everything is blown in one direction, and some of the trees you look at, they actually look like they're spiraled, some of the smaller trees. So there is a possibility, but again, the National Weather Service is going to have to make that determination. We are going to be following this and continue to give you live coverage throughout the newscast all night here and online. For Erie News Now, I'm Jamison Hixenbaugh. Mike and Eva, back to you.
Wow, some incredible pictures from Crawford County. Thanks, Jamison. We have a weather-related traffic alert for drivers in Crawford County. PennDOT tells us that Route 173 is closed from the intersection with Route 27 to the intersection with Lippert Road. That's in Wayne Township, Crawford County. Now, crews say the closure is because of downed trees. The road is expected to be reopened later today. Now, meantime, across the state line, Ashtabula County dealt with flooding as the rain just kept coming down.
It really did. Our Isley Gooden is in Ashtabula County tonight. She's got a look at the damage there and more from people living there with a very special story, too, Isley. Tell us more about that.
As you can see behind me, the street cleaners came through and cleaned up debris. There was earlier this was filled with flood water, so much so that a mother and baby were trapped. Ashtabula had a substantial amount of rain today, causing flooding on Main Avenue. Water began to collect in a busy overpass. One mother thought she could drive to the other side. Unfortunately, she found herself stuck and her car wouldn't turn on, so she called for help. Luckily, a friend came to save her and her 10-month-old's life. Many residents told me it has flooded here before, but they've never seen water like this. They think the city could do more to help.
They're waiting for the water to recede because that's been an issue here all these years, and they don't have the proper drainage. So it just fills up, but not to this extent. This is pretty bad. Yeah. The people who were there were very lucky.
I'll have more flood coverage at 5:30. Live from Ashtabula, Isley Gooden, Erie News Now.
Thanks, Isley. Also breaking tonight, President Joe Biden is asking states and localities to offer unvaccinated residents $100 to get their COVID-19 shots. The cash reward for vaccination was one idea in President Biden's latest plan to boost lagging vaccination rates in many parts of the nation. The core of his new plan is a requirement for federal workers to disclose their vaccination status to their agencies. Biden is pointing to anecdotal evidence that a $100 reward will get results. New Mexico, Ohio, and Colorado have also experimented with the idea. President Biden says states and localities can use the money from his COVID relief law to pay for the incentive programs. Also new tonight, the Erie Seawolves are teaming up with the Second Harvest Food Bank to help people in need in our region.
Yeah, our Haley Potter is joining us live from the ballpark tonight. She's there at UPMC Park with how the community, Haley, is stepping up to the plate. Tell us what's going on there.
Hi, Mike and Eva. The Second Harvest Food Bank is right here at UPMC Park and a perfect place to set up and collect some food as people are entering the ballpark for the game tonight. Their executive director, Karen Sedgy, will be throwing off the first pitch tonight at 7:05 against the Akron Rubber Ducks. But until then, this trailer will be right here in front of the main entrance, and they're going to be collecting non-perishable food items as well as some personal care items.
The non-perishable food items, as always, we could use them. And the personal hygiene products are important too, like shampoo, toothpaste, toothbrushes, all that stuff that, that we help fill our pantries and give to our 395 agencies.
Now, they say the food bank is stocked up right now, but they expect there to be more of a need come fall. So if you're planning on heading out to the Seawolves game tonight and you haven't left yet, again, this trailer will be here throughout the entire night, collecting non-perishable food items and, of course, those personal care items as well. Reporting live from UPMC Park, Haley Potter, Erie News Now.
Thanks, Haley. New tonight, a restaurant in Chautauqua County will be closed for at least 2 weeks after the establishment was vandalized.
Yeah, we have more on what happened there tonight as our Justin Gould with our news partner, Western New York News Now, talk with the restaurant's owner who is detailing all that damage.
After being closed for months due to the pandemic, a popular Chautauqua County restaurant has once again shut their doors, this time for cleanup after vandals broke into the establishment this week. Deborah Schuyler owner of Skylar's Kitchen, says she was overwhelmed when she first walked into her Town of Bust-Eye restaurant yesterday morning, finding her small business completely trashed.
There was damage to my computer, my credit card machine. There was honey all over, the fire retardant. Silverware was on the floor.
Skylar believes a group of youngsters got in via the window where her kitchen air conditioner was installed.
Not a lot was stolen, so therefore I don't really think it was a break-in to get food or what have you. It was just to do some damage.
Her restaurant, that just recently reopened after it was closed due to the pandemic, will be shuttered for around 2 weeks as ServiceMaster, a professional cleanup company, handles the mess. Financially, insurance is expected to cover damaged costs. However, Skylar says this is her busiest season, which will set back their projected revenue for the year.
I mostly worry about my employees because they have bills to pay, so I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that they're taken care of for the next couple of weeks. So we'll do what we have to do because we're a family.
As for those responsible, she says,
they really don't understand the devastation of what they did to not only me but my customers, and that there's got to be a better way to spend your time.
Now, police, Skylar tells us, have since launched an investigation taking fingerprints from the scene there. Reporting in Jamestown, New York, Justin Gould, WNY News Now.
Justin, thanks. And still to come this evening, a newly extended shelf life ahead at 5:30. We have the latest from the FDA about the future of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. We'll also be talking about the latest with the Pfizer vaccine.
And the state is working to contact people who have only received 1 dose of a 2-dose vaccine and how they plan to do it. That's after John's full forecast.
Order today, have it tomorrow.